Hey guys, you're watching Let's Talk About Prepping. I'm Tyler, your host, and in this video, I'm going to share how I'm turning these crates full of sod that I tore up from my yard to plant a garden into planters where I'm going to try a few different vegetables to see if they'll beat out the dying sod. Now, as a lot of you will know, sod is pretty tough, and as you can see from that crate right there, it's doing its best to not die out, even though I've been leaving these crates in the sun for a few weeks now. So I was going to wait for that grass to die off, then feed the whole thing to worms so that they can compost it for me. But I actually want to use that dirt that's in there to grow some vegetables this year. So what I'm going to do, what I've been doing, is putting that sod inside of cardboarded crates so that the grass itself won't be getting any sunlight, and then packing it in and creating some planters. We're going to see what vegetables do well when planted into half-living sod. So if you want to hang around, I'll show you my process here. So as you see here on the right, I have a crate full of sod as it's been sitting since I harvested it out of the yard and rinsed it and did what I could. What I've been doing with that is just dumping it here into this tub. And as you can see in the center, it really has not dried out very much. The worms are still alive in there. And any of the grass that's around the edge has tried to continue to grow. And even the stuff that's in the middle hasn't quite died yet. But that's all right, because some things like squash are known to shade out grass on their own. So we're going to see what it'll do here in these crates that I'm building by putting cardboard around the whole outside edges, on the bottom, and in layers throughout it. Now, once again, this is purely experimental for me. I'm not telling you this because it's something I know works. But if you want to follow along, if you have the ability to try it for yourself, I'm pretty confident that I'll get something out of this. There we have it. So as I go, all I'm doing is picking out any live worms I see to throw them in my worm compost bucket. Anything that has very little dirt and is purely just greenery, I'm throwing into a tub over there, where I will be adding just the pure greenery into my compost buckets as it burns off a little bit of that heat, so it won't kill my worms with all of the heat that the grass produces as it dies and all of the random decomposition gases that it produces, which the worms are not very big fans of. But I'm basically just taking these chunks and throwing them in this crate, which I've lined with cardboard. I could be using mulch like the leaves that I have for a lot of that, but I have a lot of cardboard. It's a little easier to get a hold of than the leaves, which I sort of need a schedule for. So the cardboard over time will turn into the dirt, especially over the years as I reuse these buckets or crates and turn the cardboard into the dirt. So once I have a pretty good layer of clods of sod down in there, take my bucket, throw it on the ground, crate, pardon me, and I tamp it all down, throw a layer of cardboard on top, not necessarily because it's absolutely necessary. I don't think the grass that's in the very bottom is going to grow up through everything else. But since I have so much cardboard from starting this lasagna method, it's not going to hurt to have it down in there. And frankly, it's probably a better way of recycling it than sending it to China to be thrown into the ocean. So I won't bore you by making you watch me do that whole one. Throughout the process, I continue to tamp it down, throw more cardboard on until I reach near the top. Where you can see I sift out some of the dirt. I get some of what's left at the bottom of the tubs and I leave a somewhat decent topsoil layer on the top of the crate. Now I will do most of these with just native soil, but I will also be adding on some that I just run out of native soil with from this other yard of dirt, which I went ahead and got a second yard of. So altogether, I'll have quite a few crates. Those buckets are all full of dirt, and hopefully all of these crates and all of these buckets will comprise my container garden. Anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys how the sod crate process was going. Like I said, it's purely experimental, but I'm confident that we'll get something out of it. Hope you're all doing well. Definitely plan to do some talking about prepping videos soon, but this is what's consuming my life, so it's what I'm sharing with you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Everybody stay safe out there.